worship. Empty words I can't afford. Come on! I'm not chasing feelings. That's not why I'm singing. You're the reason for my song. Here we go! If I sing with everything, if I sing for you, my King, I can't imagine why I would do this all for high. It's just all to lift you high. Whoa. Don't want perfection, just my soul's attention. All I have is what I'll give. For the song and that's the moment. I live a life of honest worship. If I'm here singing, I'll sing with purpose. All the praise, Lord, you deserve it. If I sing with everything, if I sing for you, my King, I can't imagine why I would do this all for high, 'cause it's all to lift you high. Come on, everybody, let's see every hand together. cannot hold you. The field tore before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring, the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again. 'Cause you have no rival, and you have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign. 'Cause yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, yours is the name above all names. What a powerful name it is! What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a powerful name it is! Nothing can stand against. What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus. 'Cause you have no rival, you have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign. 'Cause yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, yours is the name above all names. What a powerful name it is! What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a powerful name it is! Nothing can stand against. What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is! The name of Jesus.
You see, the amazing thing about our God is that we don't sing to a dead and a distant God, but we sing to a God who is alive, who is near, who is present. And in this place, we worship Him together today. Come on.
We need no other hiding place. Our hope is safe within your name. This we know, this we know. You promised never to forsake. What you began, you will sustain. This we know, this we know.
Come on, we sing.
And I will call upon the Lord, for He alone is strong enough to save. Rise, your shackles are no more, for Jesus Christ has broken every chain. Yeah. All Your shackles are no more, for Jesus Christ has broken every chain. Oh, I will call upon the Lord, for He alone is strong enough to save. Rise, your shackles are no more, for Jesus Christ has broken every chain. You have broken every chain, oh yeah. You have broken every chain, oh yeah.
All right, grab a seat. Hey, would you guys join me in thanking the band that has been here so consistently throughout the year? Awesome. They are awesome. Hey, believe it or not, we're almost at the end of school. Surviving, thriving, hopefully for all of you. Today, we are blessed with another special guest. Many of you have been impacted by the ministry of Christ Fellowship. This morning, we actually have one of the lead pastors from Christ Fellowship, Pastor Julie, is going to come share with us. Put your hands together for Pastor Julie to come share. Be respectful, pay lots of attention, Pastor Julie.
You guys are awesome. Thank you, Mr. Kimball. It's such an honor to be here. And as Mr. Kimball just said, my husband Todd and I have the privilege of pastoring Christ Fellowship Church. And a little known fact, Todd and I actually met when we were in 7th and 8th grade. So some of you middle schoolers over here, I think, take a look around. You never know who's sitting right down the row from you. You might want to switch seats, if you see something happening going on. I'm just kidding. I don't want to scare you guys or anything. But yeah, we love the King's Academy. We love what God's doing here. We have the privilege of traveling all over the country, so we get to see some amazing schools. But I hope that you guys know how special this place is. That God is doing such an amazing work, and I just want you guys to know from our hearts that we see that your excellence and your integrity honors God, and it inspires us. And it is inspiring people all over the country. And it's just been amazing to see what God's doing through this school. And I just want to give honor where honor is due, because I just want to give a shout out to your president, President Martin, Mrs. Jones, and all the teachers here who are giving their lives to invest in the next generation. Thank you. I know you students are thankful. We are so thankful. You guys have had a banner year here at King's Academy, right? I mean, your football team won the state championships, your cheerleading squad won a national title, your opening of the Performing Arts Center, not to mention so many of you that have gotten local and international recognition for all of your achievements. And so coming in today is just slightly intimidating, I have to tell you. So I'm feeling a little bit like an underachiever today. And so, as we go to the Lord in prayer this morning, I was going to pray for you, but I don't even know if you guys need it, because it seems like right now you're kind of God's favorites around here. But I just want to pray for me and the word going forth, that God will just use it to inspire you and to equip you as you are move forward into this summer. So let's pray together. God, I just thank you so much for the students and the team here at King's Academy. I thank you for all you're doing in the hearts and lives of the team here. And God, I just pray that you would use this word to inspire and equip us to be able to run our race with perseverance. It's in your precious name we pray. Amen. A couple years ago, some friends of mine came to me, and they had this idea. Their idea was that we could go and we could run the Disney Princess Half Marathon at Disney World. And so I was super excited about this. The whole idea behind it is that we could go and we could raise awareness and we could raise funds for our Hope House, which is our home that we have for girls that are being rescued out of human trafficking. So I thought, wow, this is going to be amazing. We can go, we can run for a good cause, and I can spend some time with some of my amazing friends, and this is going to be great. And I was all in. There was only one problem. I had never run a half marathon before, and I'd never run 13.1 miles. I'd never run 1 mile. As a matter of fact, I had never actually run to the end of my driveway at this point. But I'm a woman of my word, and so I decided, okay, I'm going to stick with this. I'm all in. So in the weeks that followed, that I had about a couple months out before the race was going to happen. And so in the weeks that followed, my husband and I would walk around our neighborhood, and there's a lake there. We'd walk around the track there, and he'd say things like, hey, Julie, do you think you should start training? I'm like, no, I've got this. It's all good, and I got plenty of time. And then we're getting a few weeks out from the race. He's like, do you think maybe you should download that app, from the couch to the 13.1 in 3 weeks? I'm like, no, don't judge me. I'm good. I got this. So the race finally happens. We're heading into the race. The day before the race, I decide this might be a good time to prepare for the race. I'm getting ready to drive up to Orlando, so I got to do something about this. So I did what every girl would do. I went out and I bought a new outfit that was really cute, and I bought a new pair of shoes, which you should never do before you're going to run a race. But that's what I did. So those were the preparations that I made to get ready for the race. So the day of the race happens, we're all lined up, and in Disney World, and the fireworks are going off, and the atmosphere is absolutely magical. Has anybody out there ever run this race at the Princess Half? Yeah, it's amazing. The atmosphere is absolutely magical. And for like a few seconds, I actually thought that I am going to be able to run this race. I'm thinking the magic is thick around here. And so we get up there, and I start running the race, and I realize pretty quickly that I get a strategy. Because when I see this orange bus that is kind of following us around. And so as long as I could stay in front of the bus, then I was fine. So what would happen is that at some point the parks had to open. So this bus would come behind, and every mile marker, they would pick up all the losers that couldn't make it to the next mile marker. So I'm thinking, hey, as long as I can stay in front of this bus, I'm good. So I'm running, I'm walking, and this strategy works for me up until about mile marker 8, when me and the rest of the losers have to get on the bus of shame and carry us across the finish line. And when I got on the bus, I was amazed because there were some girls on the bus that were literally, crying out loud. They were like, I cannot believe that Disney would not let my dreams come true. I cannot believe that I can't finish this race. And I'm going, girl, if you couldn't get to the end of your driveway yesterday, all the pixie dust in Disney World was going to carry you across that finish line, right? So when I got on the bus, I realized that I was actually one of those two. But as we began to so as I reflect on that race, I was thinking, wow, what made me think that I could run that race, right? But the truth is that whether you are a runner or not, God has a race marked out for us. So do I have any social exercisers like me out there? A little bit of dumbbells, a little bit of donuts, any just social exercisers? Any long distance runners out there? Yeah. Any of you that have the 13.1 or 26.2 sticker on the back of your car? Yeah, whatever, You're like one of those people I'm a little jealous of when I walk in the church parking lot. But the truth is, whether or not we consider ourselves a runner or not, all of us have a race that's been marked out for us. And it's going to take a lot more than pixie dust to carry us across the finish line, right? In the book of Hebrews, there's a scripture that I think is such a great picture of this. You've probably heard this verse many times here at King's Academy, but this is the verse that says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with perseverance the race that God has marked out for us. See, God has a very specific, unique race marked out for every one of you. He has gifted you with amazing talents and abilities, and there's no one that can run your race but you. He has made you with so much kingdom potential, and it's his heart that you would actually walk out and fulfill the kingdom potential that he's placed within you. And what I love about this verse in Hebrews is that it's really like a metaphor for the race that he marked out for us. And it's that race that we see at the starting line when we step into our life with Christ. And the thing about this race is that it's not like a quick 100-yard dash that we could run quickly and finish easily. And it's not like a well-marked out marathon that we can see what's coming ahead every step of the way. The truth is, I know that in my own life that there have been times that my race has felt more like a rugged, tough mudder, Spartan event with unforeseen obstacles and dangers waiting for me around every corner. But I don't know where you are today in your race. You may be tripping over the same hurdles, making some of the same mistakes over and over again. Or you might just be worn out from the marathon. It might be that you've just given so much in a relationship or a friendship, and at the end you feel like, I've given so much, and it's just brought me to this place of hurt and brokenness. Or you might have hit a wall because you thought that your race would look a lot different than it does right now. You thought that your parents were going to stay together. You thought that you wouldn't have to grow up so fast. You thought, and your race just doesn't look like what you thought it was going to look like. So wherever you are today, I have some good news for you. Because even though the school year is coming to an end, really, every time something comes to an end, every ending really marks a new beginning. Every ending really marks a new beginning. I believe that this summer season that you're stepping into, it can be summer as usual, or it can be the start of your amazing race. And this is what I mean by that, is that if you would picture yourself right now standing at the starting line. So just picture yourself standing at a starting line. And then you can picture me 33 miles up ahead at mile marker number 33, waving back at you. Because it was about 33 years ago that I graduated from high school, so I'm about 33 miles down the road ahead of you. And I just want to share a few lessons that I've learned along the way, a little bit of wisdom that I've picked up along the way. And if I were to give my message a title, it would be Lessons from Mile Marker number 33. Because there's some things that I've learned along the way that I would like to share with you. And so since I'm at mile marker number 33, I would like to share 33 lessons with you. But I'm only going to share 3 with you, because I only have time for 3. So here it goes. So your race, first of all, is going to be run and won one step at a time. A couple months back, I was standing at a really special graduation. And it was the graduation of one of our girls from Hope House. I mentioned earlier that we have a home for girls that are coming out of human trafficking. And I couldn't even share in this setting some of the brokenness and the pain and the abuse that these girls have experienced. But this one particular girl, and I'll call her Lindsay for now, but I watched her as she came in 18 months before, so devastated, so broken. And as she stood there on this day, after being poured into by our Hope House staff, after giving her life to Christ, and after growing in a relationship with Christ, and I watched her standing at her own high school graduation, standing strong, ready to face her race, ready to move forward in strength. And she gave the most beautiful address to them. Even though I was there to give the address, she gave the most beautiful address to all of those who had poured into her life. And as I was leaving that night, I was just so overwhelmed at just the privilege of being a part, just a small part of her God's story. And I was sitting in my car that night, and I thought to myself, how did I get here? How did I get here? I would have never seen this at the beginning of my race. And as I sat there in that moment, what I realized, it was that a small step that I took over 30 years ago that brought me to that place that day. See, over 30 years ago, I took this very small step into a very small church of about 70 people called Christ Fellowship that was meeting at a little elementary school in Palm Beach Gardens. And I had a sense that God wanted to use me, but I had no idea even at that point what that meant. And so I just started showing up. And I would show up week after week, and I just made myself available, and availability created opportunity, and I just began to serve in any way I can. And I look back at that very small step to step in and to be a part and to make myself available just to serve. I had no big aspirations of leading, but just to serve. And I can look back and see that small step has marked every leg of my journey. It has marked the relationships, the lifelong relationships that I'm in today. It actually led me to my husband, and it led me to so many opportunities to have an impact into people's lives. And so this is what I want to say to you today, is that the first thing I want to tell you is that the small steps that you take today will determine the big stories that you get to tell tomorrow. The small steps that you take today are going to determine the big stories that you're going to tell tomorrow. And there's some small steps and small decisions that you make every single day that seem they can just pass you by if you don't even think about them. Should I go on that first date? Okay, so in 30 years of ministry, I've never met a married or a divorced couple that didn't go on their first date. So it matters who you go on that first date with. It's a small step, but it can have a big consequence. Should I go to that party on Friday night? The one that I know that there's some things going on that I know have nothing to do with God's plan and His purpose for my life. I know that it's not where I should be, but everybody else is going. Should I go to that party? Small decision, but again, I've never met an addict or someone who is living in the wake of terrible, bad choices that never took their first drink. Who should I choose to be my closest friends? Who are going to be the people that are going to run alongside me every step of the way? If you've been around Todd and myself for any length of time, you've heard us say, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It matters who you hang with. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Right voices, right choices. Those small decisions have big consequences. So remember this, the small decisions that have big consequences are really big decisions in disguise. The small decisions that have big consequences are really those big decisions in disguise. Because this is what I know, is that you're only going to have a few defining moments in your life. You're going to have your graduation, you're going to have the marker events in your life when you accept Christ, you're going to have graduate from college, you're going to get married, but there's a lot of space between those defining moments. And the daily decisions that you make every day are going to be the decisions that determine your destiny. Your destiny is not a mystery. Your destiny is not a mystery. It's not about the big defining moments, about the small steps that you take every single day. Which leads me to my second lesson, which is don't run alone. Don't run your race alone. I really do have 33, but I just picked the top 3 that I felt like God laid on my heart for today. But don't run alone. A couple years back, my husband and I went to Colorado, but we decided, you might see a pattern here, running races without training, now getting on a mountain bike without actually riding a bike. And so the first trip down was great, it was awesome, we got down to the bottom of the mountain, I'm like, hey, that was awesome. He's like, hey, we paid for 2 hours, we're going back up. So we went back up, and we decided to take a little bit more challenging trail. To make a very lengthy story short, I lost control of my bike, started heading straight down the mountain. I hit a rock, went flying over the handlebars. I landed on my back. I broke my shoulder, broke my back, broke several ribs. My lung collapsed. I was laying on the side of the mountain for about 2.5 hours before the emergency medical people came, and I went to a very long recovery. And Todd was with me to be able to call 911, to be able to flag help down, to be able to help people find me when I fell. And even though my injuries were very, very painful, they were not life-threatening. But when I got to the hospital, they told me that the week before there had been another accident. And it was a 15-year-old boy. He was much stronger than I was and had ridden mountain bikes a lot longer than I had. But he actually died because he had gotten off from the group. He had gone down the mountain by himself. He had the exact same injuries that I had, but he was riding his bike alone. And so there's danger when you ride and you try to run your race alone. There's a verse in Ecclesiastes that I love that just paints this in such a great picture. It says this, that 2 are better than 1 because you have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves, and a cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. See, we have a God who thinks relationally. He sent his son to the earth to have a relationship with us. But when we accept Jesus as our Savior and we step into a relationship with him, we not only get him, but we get the family. He has given us the gift of his family because he thinks relationally. And even though Hebrews 12:1 says that there's a race that's been marked out for us, it's God's plan that our race be marked by the people that he has put in our path. And God's plan for each of us is that we would reach our full potential, and we will never reach the full potential that God's placed within us outside of the people that he's put in our path. You'll never be the you that God created you to be unless you experience the intimacy that comes in the community of being part of God's family. John 10:10 says that Jesus came to give us life and give it to the full. And I love that word full because it's translated many ways, but the definition really means an extraordinary, abundant, beyond normal life, a full life. And part of that full life that he created you to live is full of life-giving relationships that are there to encourage you, and relationships that are there to hold you accountable, right? Sociologists have done studies that have proven that we become the average of our 5 closest friends. So think about your 5 closest friends. We become the average of them. That's why we need people who are a little bit ahead of us on the journey, coaches and mentors and people that are down the road further than us spiritually, have done some things, experienced some things that we haven't yet experienced. And then we need people running alongside of us that are going to spur us on and to be able to encourage us in our walk of faith. Hebrews 10:25 says to find ways to encourage each other. And that word encourage really means to give courage. To give courage. You need friends in your life that give you the courage to walk out your faith. To give courage, because you guys are spending courage every single day. The things that you are facing in your daily lives and in culture in 2017 they far surpass anything that we faced even 20, 30 years ago. You need courage to run your race, so you need people around you that are cheering you on and every step of the way. But not only do you need encouragement, but you also need accountability. And I tried to think of a better, more poetic way to say that. That word accountability has kind of gotten a bad rap. But accountability isn't about calling you out. It's not about calling you out. It's about calling you up into the plans and purposes that God's placed in your life. It's about giving you the courage. It's giving you the courage to be able to walk out the commitments that you make when you're sitting here in chapel, the commitments that you're making in your churches on Sunday or in your youth group. You guys are making some commitments, you're having some defining moments in some of these environments, but you need someone along the way to be able to help you to walk out the commitments and keep the promises that you've made to yourself. I was thinking about, that all of us need accountability. We're just better, right? We're just better when someone's watching. I know it's true for me as I'm running around my neighborhood. I walk about 3/4 of the time, but if I see Kaylee or her mom, pulling into the neighborhood, I kind of pick up my pace a little bit. I start running because I'm just better when someone's watching, right? And I know in college when I had my roommate, and I knew every Tuesday my roommate was going to ask me, how's it going in your time in the Word? Because I was having a hard time, really getting that discipline of being in God's Word consistently. I was dating a guy at the time. I knew that Tuesday I was going to be asked the hard questions. And even if the only reason I read my Bible all week was because my friend was going to ask me about it on Tuesday, I still read my Bible. And I'm better for it today. We all need people in our lives to be able to help us to keep the commitments that we make to ourselves and the commitments we make to God. And this isn't comfortable. It can be uncomfortable giving our mentors and our coaches and the people in our lives that are ahead of us permission to ask those kinds of questions. It's uncomfortable to give people that kind of license into your life. Maybe you've been hurt before. Maybe you've been hurt by even Christian friends before, right? You've given someone that open door and then they took advantage of it. Can I encourage you in something? How many of you here have ever had a bad haircut? Bad haircut. I mean, bad haircuts stink, don't they? Okay, put your hand up. But just because you get a bad haircut doesn't mean you give up. Yeah, some of you are worse than others. Okay, put your hands up. Just because you have a bad haircut doesn't mean you give up on haircuts, right? Just because you have a bad restaurant experience, we don't give up on going to restaurants. My poor family would starve if I did that. So just because you've had a bad experience in a friendship or a relationship, don't give up. Because you'll miss out on what God has for you. And you'll miss out from being the you that God created you to be. See, your destiny is deeply connected to the people that God's put around you in your life. And there's some amazing mentors, teachers, coaches, pastors here that God has placed in your life. So even though it can be uncomfortable, many times those painful, awkward starting lines end up in amazing adventures. A couple years back, there was an Olympic athlete named Derek Redmond. Even though I don't like to run, I actually like to watch track and field on TV, and I'm kind of an Olympic nerd that way. And a couple years back, in 1992, there was an Olympic athlete named Derek Redmond, and Derek was favored to win the 400-meter race. And so just a couple yards into his race, Derek leaned over in searing pain. Something tragic had happened. He had torn a hamstring, and he found it almost impossible, if we can show that video, he found it almost impossible to continue and to keep running. And as Derek is running the race, I remember that I was watching this along with millions of other across the world that day. But it was so painful to watch him try to continue with his race. And as he was running, all of a sudden someone broke in from the crowd. And at first security stopped them, but they realized it was Derek's dad. And Derek's dad ran right next to him and he said, "Derek, you don't have to finish this race." And Derek looked at his dad and said, "Yes, I do. I want to finish it." He goes, "Then son, we're going to finish it together. We're going to finish this race together. And together, they've crossed the finish line. And Derek, of course, he didn't win the race, but he won something else that day. And so when I think about this story, I think that some of you are like Derek. You've fallen, you've hurt yourself, you've tripped up, and you need someone to come alongside you to help you finish your race. But some of you are like Derek's dad. You have seen God do some amazing work in your life. You've seen him be faithful. And you know that you're running hard after him. And there's someone that needs you to speak into their life. There's someone that needs you to give them courage, to keep continuing on, not to beat them down when they've fallen down, but to give them the courage to continue. And so he wants to use you to help them to know that the truest thing about them is what God says about them. He wants to use you to tell them that God cares more about your next step than your misstep. See, don't run alone. And make sure that you're running alongside those that need that word of encouragement, that need courage. The best parts of our race, when you look back from mile marker number 33, are the ones that are run together. The best parts of the race are the parts that we get to run together. So my last lesson from mile marker number 33 is a lesson that I could have also learned by watching the Final Rose episode of The Bachelorette. So my husband is like dying that I would even say that to you right now. Like, I only watch it for research. Just watch it for research, trying to stay culturally relevant. But there are some things you can learn watching the final episode of The Bachelorette. And this is what I want to tell you. That I want to tell every girl at the end of every season is don't follow your heart. Don't follow your heart. I'm telling you, don't follow your heart. Your heart was never meant to be your leader. And I know this goes against every single love song and every single movie that you've watched this year, but it's true. Don't get me wrong, your heart is beautiful. Your heart is full of capacity to grow and to care and to love, but it's not a great leader. It was never intended to be your leader. As a matter of fact, I made some of the worst choices I've ever made. The worst mistakes I've ever made have been made from a place of a broken heart. See, our hearts are inexperienced, and our hearts can be broken by life's storms and situations. You need a leader that is both experienced and unbreakable. And Jesus is both of those things. There is one who is both experienced and unbreakable. And he created both the race and he created the racer. I want to end with the same scripture I started with, but continuing on, Hebrews 12, 1 and 2, it says, let us run with perseverance that race that is set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. See, keeping your eyes on Jesus will lead you to the destiny that he's created you for. And as you take this next step, as we kind of shut down this time together, as you take this next step in your amazing race, like I said at the beginning, when I first was actually supposed to speak in chapel, it was a few months ago, I had a totally different message that I was going to share. But as I was praying about this time, I just sensed in my heart that there were some of you that need a fresh start. Some of you are tripping over hurdles, you're worn out by the marathon, and you need a fresh start. And so as you step into this starting season of your amazing race, remember, don't run alone. Keep your eyes open for those big decisions in disguise. And don't follow your heart, follow Jesus. Because he is the one that created your race. He is the one that wants to be with you every step of the way. And he is the one that is faithful and is going to wait for you in your future. So I love you guys, and I just want to see you guys experience all that God has for you on this amazing race. So let me pray for you before we end this time together. God, I just thank you for this group of students. God, I thank you that as they're stepping out of this season into a new season, I pray, God, that you would guide their steps. I pray, God, that you would instill in each heart of every student the desire to run their race with perseverance, God, because I just sense that you have so much that you want to do in these students and through these students in the coming days. I pray, God, that you would help us to run with perseverance. I pray, God, that you would help us to keep our eyes on you, for you are the author, the creator, the sustainer of our race, and we love you with all of our hearts today. It's in your precious name we pray. Amen.
Stay seated just for one more second. Stay seated for just one more second. For 1 second. Thank you so much for sharing. Profound encouragement. For some of you, it's not hard for you to envision yourself like the person who's coming around the turn and hurt your hamstring. I know this because in the past week, we've had people that have reached out and heard stories of people who need somebody to come alongside that. Option number one probably is that you feel like an injured person, like she shared, and you need somebody to come alongside you. Option number two is that you're the dad that jumps security and it jumps up next to his son and carries him along, and you can be that person. And the little decisions that seem maybe even boring to you could be something huge in the span of this life. So what I want you to do, this is our last chapel. What an incredible way to end. Thank you again for being with us.